about that, and I was just talking about it with MK Miki Zohar yesterday in this channel.
Cabinet member.
Yes, exactly about this issue. Look, we are a joke when it comes to
a sad joke. Forgive me for saying.
Yeah, when it comes to actually put terror away, and what am I talking about? We ruining a house for a terrorist family when she has a building, and we're ruining one floor because it wasn't proven that he was living in the rest of the floors, is a joke. It doesn't scare them. It doesn't stop them.
They get money to build a better house later on.
It sends a message to all terrorists: we will do nothing to you, because what? What is going to happen once you make a terror attack? If you die, you'll go to heaven, you'll have 72 virgins, and Allah will love you.
I'm not sure
and
that
like
this is a prize, by the way.
Yeah, but according to them. But if you won't die, then you'll get in jail. You'll get married.
Oh, I'm sorry to say, the Israeli Country Club jail, by the way.
Exactly.
You'll make a degree.
Yeah, you'll make a degree, you'll get married, you'll have visitations, you'll do, barbecue with your friends there, you'll get a salary from either Fatah or Hamas, and you'll be a hero for the rest of your life.
Actually, you're making a career.
And next time, God forbid, they will kidnap a soldier, we will release you, although you murdered a whole family, like the Fogel family, that the terrorists have murdered the wife, the husband, 3 of their babies, and he got away. But listen, exactly what I was talking about with MK Miki Zohar last night here. He came up with a suggestion, an excellent suggestion. He said, what was proven in Thailand and in China is good for us. In China and in Thailand, you have a lot of Muslims. And groups of terror were starting to assemble. And once there were terror attacks, what did the Chinese and the Thais did? They took the body of the terrorists and they buried it with the skin of pig.
Which is against, of course, the Quran and the Islamic belief.
And once it happens, you don't get your 72 virgins and you won't get to meet Allah. So he suggested it, and immediately all, the beautiful souls and, the people that really knows better than everyone jumped on him. This is horrible. So this is better than just ruining, a stupid house and let them continue doing what they do. 3 things should happen. 1, terrorists shouldn't come out alive from a terror attack. He should die.
I agree on that. I totally agree with you on that point.
If he was miraculously alive, then he should die. He shouldn't be alive, period. Second, their people should be, if they have Israeli citizenship, the citizenship should immediately be taken. They should be deported out to Syria, to Iraq, to Yemen, I don't care where. They should be deported, not a part of Israel anymore. Their house is definitely should be ruined, the entire house. And
including the basement.
Exactly, including the basement. And the money that we give, Abu Mazen and the Palestinian Authority, that he gives, this is the same money.
Should be deducted.
Should be done. Not 1 shekel should go to the Palestinian Authority that we know is transferring it to either Hamas or Fatah to give prizes to terrorists. What are we? How can we stop the terror? Terror is not going to stop in Israel.
No.
They want us dead or in the sea. This is the 2 solutions. They will not live with us. They do not believe in the basic right of Israel to exist.
There is no other person on the other side. There is no partner for any kind of dialogue, for any kind of peace process.
So how many years should we suffer terror attacks before we realize that something harsh and serious should happen? I don't understand, It's really a mystery to me. But, I have to say that I can feel that recently we have, MKs and members of the Knesset and ministers that are trying, obviously from the right-wing parties, that are trying to realize it, are trying to understand that this situation as we live in today can't continue as it is. And slowly, very slowly, I think they're gathering up the courage to say the words that should be said in order to do the actions that should be done.
You remind me, you probably read a book by a former mayor of New York, Rudolph Giuliani, who said, fighting fire with fire. Maybe there is a new attitude towards terrorism right now, where you hit me and I'll hit you many times worse than that. Like, the only option to fight terror, if you cannot contain it, if you cannot predict it, because that's the whole issue about terror,
you can't predict
is
it.
strike hard.
Kid coming out with a
No,
knife.
you can't do anything about it. So you have to strike first, you have to strike hard, and you have to strike with a resounding echo that would leave a mark
Just
on
to
your
mention
enemy.
one thing, you're talking about, that you can't predict it. If you do predict it, then we have the Supreme Court that rules it out, which is a joke. Just now, a 15-year-old terrorist who stabbed 2 kids in Israel and by a miracle didn't kill them, what happened to him? He got 12.5 years, which was a disgrace from the begin with. And then the Supreme Court takes it off to 9.5 years.
Which means that he's going to be out around his mid-20s and go all over again. He will become even a more dangerous terrorist.
That logical is beyond me.
I'm sorry.
Really beyond me.
I'm sorry to say, we need to do some serious soul searching about ourselves before we take any other measures, because the main issue with terror, it's not only that terror is out there, is that we fail each and every time in knowing how to cope with it. And maybe in the 70s or in the 80s, and we all know the stories, Kav 300 and everything, maybe we should go back to our roots, to the basic fundamentals of fighting terror, which means we cannot afford ourselves being too liberal and run each and every second day to the Supreme Court. Can we do this? Are we allowed to do that? Maybe we need to go back to basics.
Our root is our Holy Torah, our Holy Bible. And the Bible says, eye under eye. You get strike, you strike back, and you strike harder. You eliminate the person who wants to ruin you. And you know what? It's not even about religion. It's basic logic,
I totally agree.
You can't be human on the cost of poor people. You can't sit in your ivory building like the Supreme Court judges, and say, yeah, we're very humanitarian, but we don't mingle with these people who suffer from terror. We have guarded houses.
They don't walk around at 9 p.m. in the evening at the southern parts of Tel Aviv and the old bus station over there. I guess that not even one of them has ever been there for the past, 25 years.
No. This is,
They're secluded and protected, of course.
And this, by the way, before we finish, this relates to my fight. You know what I do? I'm running this fight for the last 6 years against illegal infiltrators that came in from Africa.
Sudanic,
Eritreans, Mongolians.
Immigrants.
Illegal immigrants. And they came in and conquered a whole bunch of neighborhoods. And this is the same thing. The solution to it leads again to the Supreme Court, where those judges who know nothing about what's going on in those poor areas, know nothing about what it means to live with those illegal immigrants, gives them more budgets and gives them more rights on the cost of who? On the cost of the poor Jews who doesn't have the voice to fight.
Who already start on a very low socio-economic. They don't have the resources to protect themselves.
This is the real racism, by the way. The real racism comes from those, fake elites, snowflakes, that basically feel more, supreme than us. They feel like, I don't know, maybe different blood runs through their veins, and they can decide, decisions that will not affect them, but will definitely affect the people. It's democracy under dictatorship. It seems like a democracy, but actually they put their own mind and their own set of mind that is completely detached from the majority of the public in Israel, and they implement it by force. And that, my friend, is a dictatorship.
So what you're saying, this is actually a democracy as long as it goes with my own personal agenda. Because if it collides with anything that I, let's say, oppose to, so actually it's either my way or the highway. And you have to accept my own personal truth.
Because you go to the Knesset, right? Every elections, you vote for your 120 representative. And what happens in the end? They pass a law, and the Supreme Court comes and cancel it. I don't remember going to the, in the election day and voting for the Supreme Court judges. I don't remember giving them the power to decide over my life, but they do.
Yeah, but this is one of the ways that the democratic system controls and balances.
Yeah, but she doesn't balance it.
Every law student on its first year know about everything about the control and how you control.
You're a lawyer and a very good one, but you.
Thank you. But I have more disadvantages beyond that. But yes, I do admit.
But you have to, admit that this is not balanced. The Supreme Court judge's opinion is not balanced. It's left.
I agree that somewhere between the practical and the theoretical issue, there is a very wide gap that we cannot, live with. And of course, the Supreme Court has its own agenda. And, I don't want to sound a bit, let's say, biased, but when you look at the people sitting there, and by the way, there is a shift towards the right-wing judges prior to former years, you can see that the decision by the Supreme Court today are a little bit more balanced, which on my behalf,